Okay, so I did this again, yes. And the thing is, I had to know, is it worth the upgrade over my Oasis? Or is the fact that I have an Oasis and an iPad, is that going to make the Kindle Scribe a little bit redundant? So the plan is, guys, I'm about to take a trip out of town for about 8 days. So the plan is right now is that I will use this for those 8 days. That is really, it's massive. That really is a tablet size. And I'll kind of use it, get an idea of what it's like before I can give you guys a real review for it. And I haven't done a Kindle review on the channel in about 2 years, so, it feels like it is time. I said I was going to wait and hold out for the Kindle Color, but it doesn't seem like that's coming anytime soon. So I like the idea of being able to doodle and make notes and stuff. So I'm going to use it, like I said, for these 8 days and get back to you guys after that, and we'll compare and contrast with the Oasis, or if you just want this on its own. Okay, so that was a little longer than my vacation, guys. So the vacation ended a first week of August, and here we are into October. But guys, Mike back to talk some Kindle on the channel, talking about the Kindle Scribe. So guys, this was released November of last year in 2022. This device has gotten quite a lot of questions out of me. People were really curious how I felt about it. I'm currently using a Kindle Oasis, and I'm quite happy with it. Quite happy with it. But I said I like a lot of the ideas that this brought forth. So what do I think about it in comparison to the Oasis, as well as talking about this device here? So in case you don't know, guys, 10.2-inch screen, 300 ppi, 35 LEDs. It comes in 16, 32, and 64 gigabytes of space. I have the 16 gigabyte with the basic pen. So again, my wife is using a Paperwhite. I am using Oasis, and so we've got plenty to kind of compare them here to. But today, guys, the Kindle Scribe, I think the best way to do this is like I did with the previous Kindle reviews on the channel. Talk about what I liked, talk about what I didn't like. Should you upgrade? And then my final thoughts, starting with what I liked, guys. The sharpness and appearance in this is just crystal clear. I mean, it's what you would expect, I think, when you got a display that big. And the thing is, the bigger display, I don't feel like it sacrificed any of the sharpness at all. It's very bright and glare-free. I need to add that it's glare-free. Now, I did read a lot of this in the daylight, out on the deck of the ship when we took this on a cruise with us, and I didn't have any problems with the battery light, because when you're in the full daylight you get glare free, but the backlight kind of like auto brightness, that's a big plus on these things. The auto brightness kind of adjusts to that. I used this thing for the whole week, guys, and didn't have to charge it once. I haven't charged it since then. It's at 76%, and I was reading a lot on that trip. It was a 7-day cruise. I was reading for 7-8 hours a day. That's not an exaggeration. I really was, guys, because I was excited because there was no kids, right? But yeah, I'm excited to say that the battery life is superb, even better than the Oasis on this thing. I really like the 2-column layouts. When you put it in landscape mode, the 2-column layout, so if you want to read it, it feels like an actual book in your hand when you've got that way, when you've got the 2 pages like an open book. So obviously the weight's going to be a little different. It's not going to feel like a real book, but you know what I mean. It's going to be as close as you can get to the digital version of having an open book in your hand. I think the biggest thing here, guys, is sticky notes feature. Really cool. You can basically open up a single page and always be able to reference it back to it. It'll add like a footnote to it. You can always go back to it if you want to. I don't think it's really that much different than highlighting when you're using a Paperwhite or an Oasis, but it is if you want to kind of write your own notes in there and not just highlight stuff. So that's obviously very cool. The stylus, guys, I gotta say, the stylus, the basic pen, whatever they call it, works as expected. No performance issues there. No problem with it, like actually, doing what you want to do. It understands exactly what you're wanting, so there's no real problems there. You can actually purchase a premium pen. I got the basic pen. The premium pen, it has an eraser, and it has a shortcut button on it. $60, guys. So to me, I was like, I think I could pass on that. Now, I will say, if you do buy the bundle that they offer, you can actually get that for half that price, only $30 if you buy the bundle that comes with this case that I've been showing you here, and I guess the charger. Yeah, yes, guys, they charge you extra for the wall adapter, but it's part of the package there. So again, if you're gonna buy it, I say buy the bundle version. I say the processing speed, again, light speed, no lag at all, so there's no problems there. And there's not really very many performance issues I can talk about at all. I mean, I'd say it's at least as good. I felt like the new Paperwhite, the 2021 Paperwhite, and both the Oasis both have about the same processing speed. This one's on par with it. Again, no lag. I never have a problem where I'll go like this to turn the page and nothing happens. It's immediate. It refreshes just fine. And I think if your eyesight is going, this is something I think I prefer. If your eyesight's going a little bit and you want to make that font bigger, this screen is big enough that it'll make up for it. Because I feel like when you make the font that big on a Paperwhite or an Oasis, you're turning the pages too dang much. Because, you made the font so huge. This, you can make the font huge. You can make like 20-point font, and still you don't only have to turn the page, depending on your reading speed, obviously. But it really is a better idea for this version of the Kindle if you want to make the font really, really big, I think. And I really do like that when you make those sticky notes, they can be converted to text, like automatically. It's very, very good that, I don't have the neatest handwriting in the world. I think the more and more we get away from actually handwriting things, everyone's handwriting has kind of gotten a little worse. But my handwriting was very, very sloppy, and it actually converted it 100% accuracy, and you can email that and do whatever you want to do with it, make a PDF out of it. Things like that are obviously a really, really cool feature. Now, what did I not like about the Kindle Scribe? I did not like, guys, that there's no page turn buttons like the Oasis. I didn't think that was something that I really wanted that much when I got the Oasis. It wasn't really one of the key reasons I bought the Oasis, but I'll be damned if I wasn't missing it on this. And I'm like, look, you got that big of a device, why not have the buttons on there? Or at least have the option for it. I don't know. So getting back to actually doing this across the page, and you're feeling like you're wiping off your fingerprints all the time, so then you can't just tap it in the right corner. But again, it's just one of those things that you just get used to those page turning buttons. So if you want those live buttons, that is a big negative for me. The port and the power buttons are really oddly placed. They're on the side here. Now, I did say I liked in the Oasis it was up here, and I didn't like on the Paperwhite that it's on the bottom, because I feel like if you're one of those people who read in bed, you put it on your chest, you keep turning it off, things like that. So it's better than that, but it is really weird that it's on the side like this. Makes it really awkward if you're trying to read while you charge. But again, like I said, the charging on this is so good, you're probably not going to have to end up doing that. If you ever want to write free on your page, guys, this is the biggest takeaway. If you ever want to just completely free write, doodle, scroll anything on the page anywhere you want, nope. This is not that device. And I feel like that is where I got sold a bill of goods, because I was led to believe that you could write in your book anywhere you wanted to. I'm that type of person that if I was going to use this on a daily basis as my normal everyday reader, I want to write in the margins, and it will not let you do that. Now, I know there are some, I think they're called write-on versions of books coming out on Amazon. So if you want to buy your books again, you can do that. It's not for everything yet, but they are starting to do that. But that was a big negative for me. Sticky notes is cool, but I would love to be able to doodle, write, draw, do all that stuff in my margins when I'm reading my books, and it does not allow you to do that. You want to circle a whole paragraph or something, you can't do that. You want to write a nickname for a character on there, you have to do a sticky note, and it makes a footnote for it. Again, these are things that are cool, but I don't feel like that's what was sold to me. I was sold the idea that you could write on your book anywhere that you wanted to, and that is the biggest mark against for me, because I felt like it's a huge missed opportunity. I understand there's copyright issues and things with that, but guys, once you buy the book, it's yours. I don't get that. I don't get it at all. So there we go. I wanted to be able to free scroll all over these things, and you could not do it. I don't like that the case. Now look, this is a me thing, because I know you can buy the case that you want. This is the one that comes with the bundle. I don't like this magnetic case. Now look, it hangs in there fine, but look how easy it pops out. This is an expensive device to be relying on this magnet case. It's just weird. And the stylus holder down here, what is that? What is it? So I don't really like this case at all. Just give me something like my Oasis. See, my Oasis is locked in there. It ain't going nowhere. You couldn't get that thing out. In fact, it's hard to actually take it out of this case. So I know that you can buy different cases, but this is the one that obviously that they are selling in the bundle pack. And I was very let down by that. I'm even fine with the fabric case. That's fine. You don't want to do leather. But again, this magnet thing, no. Give me something that actually clips. So can't really call that a negative against them. but that is the device rather. But this is the holder that they're actually selling with the case. I don't know. I didn't look at other cases when I realized, spoiler alert, this Kindle wasn't going to be my everyday reader. So I didn't look to buy a different case with it. If you want to sideload your books, guys, there are a lot of people who still do that. Now look, I made the transition from iPad to Kindle years ago, so I wanted to sideload a lot of my books I already bought. I want to buy them again from Amazon, and you can do that. You can do that. There's a system called Caliber. You can do that. You can convert them. You can upload them all to your thing. Anything that you sideload, you can't write on at all. You cannot write on it all. So there's a little bit of the controlling, kind of like that iTunes thing. Amazon's kind of doing that. If you didn't buy it from Amazon, you didn't upload it to your device from Amazon, you can't write in it at all. So again, I thought they're very, very restrictive with the writing on these books, and it's so frustrating you. It's very, very frustrating to me. So yeah, I mean, again, with me, the biggest one, like I said, I want to be able to write on my books, and that leads me to, should you buy it, guys? Should you upgrade it? I think that there are people who will love this. There is an audience for this. I just don't think it's me. I think if you're an educator, a teacher, if you're a student, if you are an author, and you want to be able to make notes, you want to be able to get your homework, you want to be able to get your lesson planning and all that stuff on here, this will be a great device. I mean, if you don't have an iPad, I think this will be a great device for you because it can keep you. I always say, look, I want to keep my books and the internet separate. Now, it does have a browser on here, but again, this shouldn't be your number one browser, most likely. I think you would prefer your phone over this as your number one browser if that is what you're going against. I don't want that. When I'm reading, I don't want that distraction. I don't want to be like, oh, let me look at Instagram real fast, and the next thing you know, 30 minutes has gone by and you're not reading. That's the whole reason I got a Kindle, was for eye strain number one and the distraction takeaway number two. I didn't want to be distracted while I was reading because it takes away from reading. That's why you put your phone in another room, right? But I digress. I think that if you're a journaler, you like to do a lot of journaling, I think that this could be a really, really good device for you because you can just flat out get a notepad on here and just write what you want. And like I said, you can convert it to text if you want to. If you want to keep it in your own handwriting, you can do that. It has a ton of space, guys. And that's it. 16 gigs. It's all you need, guys. Don't waste your money. Unless you're putting audiobooks on this, like WhisperSync and all that stuff, I don't think that you're going to be using that much space. But if you're just using this for books and for note-taking, you don't need to buy anything bigger than the 16 gigabyte. Don't be fooled by that. If you're one of those people who likes to do Sudoku and crossword puzzles, games like that, great device for that. I did a little bit of crosswording while I was on my vacation with this device, and it was pretty cool. Actually having a pencil instead of having to actually, type through the letters and stuff on your iPad or whatever device you're using for that. I learned how to play Sudoku on this while I was on vacation. I always wanted to learn how to play Sudoku, so that's pretty cool. But again, is this a device you want to pay that much money to play Sudoku and crossword puzzles? Well, maybe not. If the bigger screen is important to you, it's going to be hard for you to find any kind of different alternative for this. I mean, that's unless you're getting an iPad or any kind of tablet, you're not going to find a better screen. Obviously, I always recommend people read off of an e-reader screen and not a tablet screen because it's so much better for your eyes. And I'm saying that as someone whose eyesight's almost gone here. The price, guys, price is obviously the elephant in the room. Well, actually, you know what? The original Kindle now is $99. The Paperwhite here, the 2021 version, $139. The Oasis is $249. This is the stock models and all these, the lowest gigabyte, the lowest memory. And the Oasis $249 and the Scribe, guys, 16 gigabyte. The one I have here in my hand, $339. So it's not cheap. It's not very cheap. So I think if you want something for more than just reading, you do a lot of note taking, you are a student, you are a teacher, you're an author, and you want to be able to make your notes and things like that, it makes a lot of sense for you if this is going to be your multi-purpose device. But if you're wanting it as just a daily reader, a mobile daily reader, I can't say that this would be the one to get. I definitely don't think so. I still think I'd go with the Oasis if you could swing the extra money, because I do still think that the Oasis, while I love that you can hold the Paperwhite in one hand, I think, if you get the right case, you can hold. I got the right case. I had to get the right one because I didn't like the one that came with it. You can hold the Oasis in one hand as well. If you don't use a case, it's already got that grip there for you. So if you're a one-handed reader, obviously, I would say that would be the one that I would go with. But if mobility is the most important, guys, Paperwhite's still the way to go. It fits in your pocket. It's very affordable, I think. They have sales on these things all the time, where they'll have marked down to $100 or less. You can't beat it. I did the Paperwhite. My wife, I mean, she wanted the Paperwhite. I mean, when I was talking about getting the Oasis, I asked her on our last Prime Day, do you want to upgrade the Oasis? She said, nope. She loves her Paperwhite because she loves that she can fit it in her purse very easily. She can fit it in her jacket pocket. It's fine. Me, I prefer the Oasis because it's just a little bigger, and I have way worse eyesight than she does, and I like being able to adjust that font without having to turn the page every 6 words. It's very, very nice. So, yeah, if you're saying, should you upgrade? I definitely don't think so. If this is your first Kindle, I think maybe if the bigger screen is important to you and you do all those other things besides just read your books. But if you're wanting this to be able to just free write in your books, guys, hate to break your dreams. It's not the device that you think it is. And I learned that the hard way. I should have done my own research a little bit first, I think. So that's on me. I can't blame anybody but myself. But for my final thoughts on this device, guys, I used it for my vacation. I have not used it since I got home. Immediately once I got home, I picked back up my Oasis, and I have not stopped using it. The Oasis is still my daily reader of anything I'm not reading on physical. I love the features that it provides, but I feel like they're very, very redundant for me personally because I have an iPad. All that stuff I want to do, a notepad, Sudoku, things like that, guys, I have that on my iPad. So yeah, it doesn't really have very much use for me, especially if you're one of those people who has an iPad or a tablet, or you're very, very reliant on that device. You're just going to be trying to look for a reason to use this. For me, I wanted to be able to write on my books anywhere I wanted, and it didn't give that to me. Sticky notes is cool. It is. It's a cool feature. I wish that the Kindle Oasis had something comparable to it, but that alone isn't enough for me to justify the price tag to upgrade on this. So I think that I am done upgrading, guys, until that inevitable day that the Kindle Color does come out. Now, again, whenever I say that, people are like, where do you get that idea? It's all conjecture on my behalf. I just assume that's the next step. I thought the Kindle Color would be what coming out before the Kindle Scribe, but they seem to be very, very proud of the Kindle Scribe, as you can see with that price tag, and I think that they're doing just fine. Obviously, having 4 different Kindles for you to choose from now, they feel like they have one for each different, kind of demo out there. But for me, I think the Oasis is the perfect reading device. Sure, there are things I'd like to change about it, but I think it's just like I brought up iTunes earlier. There's things about iTunes that I can't stand. But it would be hard for me to learn any other OS, right? And why would I want to learn anything else? I know this one. I'm familiar with it. So that's why some people have been like, why don't you switch to Kobo? It's so much better. I'm just used to the Kindle at this point, and I think that familiarity is something that's very, very important to a user, and that's why I'm sticking with my Oasis. And as far as this Kindle Scribe, well, I got it. I guess I got to find something to do with it, right? But I think that I'm going to actually gift it to my wife, who is an educator. She says she doesn't have any use for it, but I'm thinking that she will be able to find things that she will use it for, because it is very good, guys, for PDFs and things like that I think that an educator or, again, a student would use a lot, because a lot of your school books can be straight PDF and stuff. I mean, if you want to read comics on there, I guess you can. To me, the iPad's always the way to go because it's so much more bright and beautiful, I think. But hey, say like you're reading like manga, it's black and white anyway. I think that would be a great device if you wanted to use it for that. So there is going to be an audience for it. I just don't think it was mine. So guys, I have several Kindle videos on the channel. I've reviewed numerous versions. I've compared them. I've told you which ones I think is the best. I think you probably got that in this video, that I think the Oasis is still the best bang for your buck. Again, guys, wait for these Prime days that they have. They seem to have 2 or 3 of them a year now. Wait for a sale. You'll get a good price. And you know what? Buy those refurbished, or what do they call them? Renewed. Those renewed editions with confidence, because they give you the same warranty on them. And it's almost impossible to break these things, guys. I've dropped these things on their side, on their face so many times, and they do not break. The durability is amazing. So yeah, I say there are ways to save money on these devices, and I think a big way to save money on these devices is probably go with one of the other models and not the Scribe, at least in my opinion. So if you aren't into all those things I really mentioned there, I don't think this is worth the upgrade. So guys, you have a Kindle. Which version do you prefer? Are you interested in the Scribe? If you are, hey, drop down below and let me know why, guys, and I will talk to you there.